Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. We are your host. He is the Stallion. I am the Enforcer, and we are joined by a very special guest tonight. Like to everybody, welcome to the show, Salina de la Renta. Salina, thank you for joining the show tonight.
Thank you guys for having me.
First and foremost, before we get into everything, I know you're laid up right now, with an injury. So before we get into anything, I would like to talk about the GoFundMe you have and where people can find that and how people can donate.
Well, that's easy. You can just go to any of my social media, and it should be within the first 3 posts.
Okay, and what's the address on the Twitter and the Instagram?
It's Salina de la Renta. For those of you who don't know how to spell it, it's SALINADELARENTA.
Awesome. So for everybody that's a wrestling fan that's ever seen you work in MLW and anything like that, reach into your pocket, whatever you can do, and go to the GoFundMe and do the right thing. So
I appreciate that.
Of course, absolutely. People helping people. That's how we all get by in this world. So,
yeah.
Let's talk a little bit. For people that haven't been exposed to you yet, obviously there's a lot of awesome things going on in your career. MLW was a huge thing. Give us a little bit of a backstory and tell us where you started and how, if you grew up. Did you grow up a wrestling fan? Was that was that always in your life?
Not really. Growing up, I did the normal girly, I would say, activities. So I would dance, model, sing. I did acting. I was really involved in performing arts. But I also did a bunch of sports. So I was always very athletic and very into the arts world, let's just call it that. And I moved to Florida with the plan of studying film in college over here because I thought the program was better than in Puerto Rico. So when I moved here, I started as a film student, and they said that we had to do a little research on reality shows, and I found Total Divas. And after I watched it, I was like, I think that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, and literally just started doing it out of nowhere. It was just as soon as I saw it, I felt that that's what I was supposed to do.
Wow, that's an awesome story. I mean, sometimes, when you know. Actually, we just had on our show, we had Kimberly on 2 weeks ago, and she kind of had the same thing. She grew up as a ballet dancer and things like that. The performing arts, how would you correlate that to professional wrestling?
How do I compare it?
Yes.
I mean, it is not easy to compare because the other worlds are very different to the wrestling world. It's in modeling, there's a lot of pressure on the way you look, but I feel like wrestling, even though you do have to have a good look and all, I don't know, it's you have personality, you have other things that you can bring to the table, and you're not only depending on that one skill that, So I think pro wrestling allows me to do a little bit of everything I like. I think it's even better.
I think that's really what a lot of us say, is they're able to combine a lot of their personalities and the athleticism, the drama, the acting, and kind of all rolled into one package. What gym did you walk into? Where did you start training?
I started training at Team Vision Dojo in Orlando, Florida, and I pretty much stay there.
We just talked to Amber Nova, and I believe she is one of your training partners. Is that true?
Yes.
Well, she had a lot of really good things to say about the Team Vision Dojo. And if you're interested, everybody out there, check out they're super active on Instagram and on social media. So the Team Vision Dojo Instagram is an awesome place to watch. A lot of behind the scenes training and, a lot of up and coming wrestlers that you're going to see in a lot of big places very soon. Now, when you step on the mat and you're in the gym, how is the professional wrestling training for you different than the other athletic training, you had growing up?
Well, different sports that you just kind of have to do the same thing over and over. And in wrestling, it's more what is new? What can you bring to the table? So when it comes to training, I would say sports is just consistency. But in wrestling, you just have to give it your all. And it's not only physical training, it's also your brain has to be in the same synchronization. Is that even a word?
Yeah, absolutely. That totally makes sense. I mean, you can't. It's what is it? 90% of the game is half mental. I think that was a Yogi Berra quote. I think that's true.
That sounds right. Yeah. That adds up. So how long were you training for before you actually had your first match in the ring?
Around 6 months, I would say.
And before you step on the mat for the first time, what is that feeling like when you're about to walk out behind the curtain? That's got to be an incredibly nerve-wracking feeling, and kind of something you're never really completely ready for.
So, I mean, everybody has their routine, and everybody gets in the game differently. Before my matches, I'm always like really chatty, and I'm always like really hyped up. And then 3 seconds before my music hits, I feel like my body goes numb, and I start freaking out, and it's like a little bit of anxiety. But as soon as I step outside of the curtain, it's just fun. But it's always like those 3 seconds of like complete anxiety, and you're like, I get super nervous for like 3 seconds, and then it goes away.
And then I'm sure the adrenaline kicks in, and after that, it's all uphill from there. Now, recently, you actually also had your tag team partner on the show, the other half of the Spoiled Brats, Aria Blake. And she was awesome. She was great to talk to. How did the formation of the Spoiled Brats come about? You guys are everywhere. You're doing fantastic on social media, by the way.
Thank you. Well, we started tagging when it was this one show that we did locally, and they kind of put us together. It wasn't really like we talked about being a team or anything. But Aria called me that weekend, and she was like, "Hey, I know we're tagging, so what do you want to wear? What colors? What are we doing?" And now she was like already showing interest. She's like, "What else can we do? Like, it needs to be cool." So now I'm getting creative too. We get to the ring, and now we having like good chemistry and everything. And we were not like big friends or anything. We were cordial with each other. And after that one match where we worked with each other, we've been tagging since. We decided to become a team because it felt right.
So, I mean, was there like a little friendly rivalry before that? Because I mean, professionals, it's you're always comparing yourself to somebody else. So is it fair to say that you guys were cordial with each other, or is there a little frenemies?
I honestly don't ever get aggressive when I meet somebody just because I think they're cool. Like, that didn't happen. I know Aria was not a fan of me, but a lot of people are not a fan of me because I'm loud. I have an outgoing personality, so I get it. Sometimes it's too much. But I don't think Aria and I ever had any beef before even being friends.
Well, I guess that could just be the business too. A lot of people are, it's kind of a dog-eat-dog world, and if you're out there, if you're loud, and you're making yourself known, some people are intimidated by that. That's all. So I think, frankly, you should take it as a good thing.
Well, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Well, it seemed to work out because I believe it was maybe 2 weeks ago, Mike Johnson from PW Insiders said you were a rising star in the business. Due to the MLW show. So, Mike, PW Insider is a highly respected publication. They've been around forever. When you saw that, what did that feel like?
I got a little emotional, I'm not going to lie. I kind of like internally screamed for a second. I was like, okay, that's me. Okay, I got that one line right there. I was like so proud of it. I wanted to show everybody.
Now, that's something that everybody wants to hear, and for you to be recognized so young in the business, I think that it's kind of tells you what kind of path you're going to be on. Tell us about how the MLW promotion came about and how their TV show came about, and the good things they're doing in the business going forward.
I don't want to say anything that I know that's going to happen forward because I don't know what I know that the people don't know. I'm not sure yet what we can or can't say, but what we're doing is pretty big, and it's honestly like the best experience that I've had in wrestling in my whole career. I mean, my career has been pretty short because I haven't been in the business for that long, but the time that I've been in has definitely been the most amazing experience working for MLW. And it all started when I met Mr. Saint Laurent. He is one of MLW's bookers. I was working his indie show, and I would do this like I think it was like once or twice a month, and it was basically him just telling me about what MLW could potentially be, but he never told me what MLW was going to be. And one day he's like, all right, the show's actually happening. And I'm like, yay, let's do this. And I'm thinking it's going to be some elite indie promotion and something local, something small. I show up and I see like the coolest locker room, the coolest venue, everything is like super high tech. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I see you. This seems pretty legit. So then we're doing everything. And then one day they're like, hey, here's a contract. Would you like to be on national television every Friday? And then I'm just like, oh, okay, yes. Why would I say no to this?
Right. Opportunities like that don't come around, very often. So congratulations on that, and going forward, MLW.
Thank you.
They're on, they're in syndication. Where can people find them? Let's say if they don't have them in their local TV guide, where can they keep up on MLW TV Weekly?
If you don't have the network?
Correct.
I know there's an app called Go 90, and I know that they play it, but it's at very specific times. So I know the app will play it. I think it's at 9 and then at 11. So you can't just watch it randomly. It would have to be either that or have the network and use DVR. A lot of our stuff is on YouTube. I think that they said that they're going to start putting them up on YouTube, but I can't say that for a fact.
Well, anybody who wants to check out MLW, make sure you go to YouTube right now. There is some really you get highlight videos, and they also get hype videos, and they also have like trailers for the upcoming shows, which is going to lead me to ask you. I know you're injured right now and you're on the shelf. What's the timetable for your return, and also where do you see yourself? Let's just say 6, 12, maybe even 18 months from now. What's really next for you?
I don't really know how long until I'm back in the ring, because it's going to be 6 months after surgery, and I'm still collecting the money for surgery, so it'll be 6 months after whenever I raise enough money to get my surgery. And honestly, I think my future depends on my knee, honestly. I don't know, in a few months, it could just be if my knee is fine, then I'm planning on wrestling all over, but if not, I'm planning on promoting and giving exposure to the matches that I can and working as a promoter.
It sounds like, you're short time in the business. You've kind of given yourself a lot of windows, and you enjoy more than just the in-ring product. Is that fair to say?
Yes, definitely. I love everything about wrestling. It's not just getting in the ring and taking bumps. Sometimes it's nice to be in wrestling and not get hit on the neck.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe you bring in a lot of the Lucha Libre stars. Is that true?
That is correct.
That's awesome. So, listen, for people out there, make sure you're following on MLW. Make sure you're following Salina de la Renta on Twitter, on Instagram. There is always content on there. You are consistently in my story feed, so kudos to you. Always getting your name out there, always promoting. And please, everybody, make sure to go Salina de la Renta and GoFundMe. And if you'd like to see her back in the ring, reach into your pockets and do the right thing. We did it the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast, and now we're putting it on you guys. Salina, we thank